Don't point at the camera.
That's why I have it in this hand. Hey y'all, this is my husband Jared.
It's my wife Jenny.
This is CherryPieCottage.
Episode 70.
Yay! Not naughty this time.
No. See, I wasn't going to say anything.
I know. And just so y'all know, I'm drinking a Bai Bubbles. It's really good. It's...
Coffee.
Yeah, of course he's drinking coffee.
This episode brought to you by coffee. Not a sponsor yet.
This is non-alcoholic because, as y'all know, we don't drink.
I'm pretty sure everybody knows that the Bais are not alcoholic.
It's in the same size, like, can that, like, alcoholic spritzers would be in. So I wanted to make it clear. I don't know why I did, but I did. So it's just like when we go to the grocery store and I would buy the frozen pina colada mixes because I just want, there's no alcohol in it. And I felt the need to tell the checkout person, yeah, I like this because I just like the flavor, but I'm not putting it with alcohol. I don't know why I do this, but I do. So it's like I'm afraid I'm going to get caught or something. I don't know. It's a weird thing.
You would be the type of person that went to the hardware store, bought a shovel, but then told the checkout person, I'm not using this to bury anybody. I'm not going to use this to dig a grave.
No. I like to buy the frozen pina colada mixes because they are tasty.
This is what I live with.
Yeah, because I'm ridiculous.
This is what I chose.
Hey, since I interrupted, we live in Lubbock, Texas. So, we love it. Welcome to our new...
You still sound like you have to convince yourself of that. Oh my gosh, we love it here.
We actually do. So, however, it is growing. So I'm really afraid that like the big town that feels like a small town, the feel of it is going to go away because we've got a lot of new people moving in. So.
And that is true. I mean, I work in the home building supply industry, and just the amount of people that are having houses built here that aren't from Lubbock is ridiculous.
Yeah, like it doubled in last year, didn't it?
No, it didn't double. Like new houses in 2019, there was like 11,000 or something, 1,100 maybe. 1,100 new houses that were started. In 2020, there were 1,700 new houses being started. So, that's a lot of new houses.
Yes, it is. And a lot of them were being built for people that don't live in Lubbock yet.
And for those of you like our dear friend Laura, a house is like an apartment. But it's all by itself.
And we have central heating and air. We don't have a radiator. I don't know anybody from Dalhart. Also, welcome to new viewers. We are this random. Stick around. We'll go down lots more rabbit holes. And our returning viewers, you know how we are already. So you're already probably going, well, how long is it going to take for them to actually get to the knitting?
Yeah, I thought this was a knitting podcast. It is.
Yeah, it is.
So, babe. Y'all start saying numbers. Start saying numbers. So what's been going on, babe?
39, 40.
You're not supposed to be casting on during our intro.
I'm so sorry. I will put it down.
Thank you.
It's been cold.
How cold is it?
We got down to -2 last night.
So cold I saw a politician with his hands in his own pockets.
It was so cold yesterday, his bottle of olive oil that was out in the garage was frozen. Solid.
I had an olive oil slushy.
Yeah.
It's quite gross to
Yep.
think about it like that.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
And it's been snowy
yeah, it's been ridiculously cold the last couple days.
and windy. It was 6 most of yesterday, but with the wind chill, feels like 13, 14.
So,
This morning it feels like negative 13, negative 14. And this morning it was 1, feels like negative 19. That is not normal for us here. It's so cold that the entire... Our lights fell. Hold on.
bear with.
Bear with.
Bear with.
Bear with.
Bear with.
The entire state of Texas was under a winter storm watch. Like, the entire state was cold.
Okay, for our Canada friends, just so you understand, 6 degrees is negative 14. If we can get that out there, negative 14.444 degrees Celsius. So that's what we're dealing with right now, which very, very, very unusual for this time of year.
Yes.
It is unseasonably cold.
Yes. We actually hit a record cold yesterday. Mm-hmm. And before that was in 1911, and the record low was 12. So
yeah.
it's cold. So once in a generation is what the weatherman was saying about the entire state of Texas being under a winter watch.
Yes.
Winter storm watch.
I looked at the Texas DOT map today, and it shows where snow is being reported, and it shows road closures and everything. The snow just looks like the shape of Texas. Like, that's how the entire state, from Tex Line all the way down to Brownsville and from El Paso to Beaumont, is snow.
El Paso to Beaumont is what, 800?
Okay, so from the Louisiana border to El Paso is 828 miles.
Yeah, and there's actually a sign there that tells you that there's 820 miles to El Paso.
28,
whatever. But, like, his aunt, who lives in Jasper, which is down by Beaumont,
very near the border,
had to go out and break up the ice on top of the watering tank for the animals.
Yeah.
So they could get a drink.
With
that doesn't happen down
very
there.
unusual.
Does not happen down there. So,
Well, you know, the last time it snowed here, they had snow down there too.
yes, but it
Which
didn't
is
get
weird.
cold enough that it froze the water in the animals'
Yeah.
water tank. So, but what else has been going on, dearest?
Yesterday was Valentine's Day.
Valentine's. Do not be doodad. You know how to pronounce it correctly. You only put an M in there to irritate me.
Yes.
Stop.
Okay.
Yesterday was Valentine's Day. He saw the video from Dude Dad and thinks it's hilarious to continue to say it like that.
It's actually older than that. It's an old SNL sketch.
I don't care.
But anyway.
It's not funny. He thinks it's hilarious. But it's not.
So we had fun.
Yes.
We had a real good time with Valentine's Day.
Yes. Because, for the last 11 years, I haven't wanted to do anything. So, but my grandmother passed away about 11 years ago on Valentine's Day.
Right.
So, he went big.
I did. Couldn't help myself.
No. So, we went out to dinner like we always do. We went
Real
to...
nice restaurant. Longhorn.
Yeah. Yes.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Yep. And then we went and picked up cheesecake from Cheesecake Factory.
Mm-hmm.
Then he's like, I have other plans. I was like, okay, whatever. And I didn't ask him. I wasn't prodding or anything like that. And he drives me over to the... Now the name just went right out of my head. Overton, thank you. I wanted to say Auburn, and I knew that was not right. That's our daughter's school.
Definitely not right. I'm definitely not taking you there.
No, to the Overton, which is like the nicest hotel in town.
Yeah.
And he got us one of the rooms on the top floor, like the kind where you have to put in the key card to get to it. Yeah. And then we got room service the next morning. It was great. Mm-hmm. We never get to do stuff like that. It was nice to just be in a hotel where I didn't have to clean anything. I didn't have to cook anything. I didn't have kids. Mom, what are we doing? Mom, I'm bored. or, kids ignoring me in their room. It was just us. We could do whatever we wanted. And there was a box of chocolates, like a giant box of chocolates and roses and yeah.
And the apple cider. The
Yes.
sparkling cider.
Yes. Because again,
I even got the champagne flutes.
yeah,
So
you had
to
to
drink
bring
it
out
out
the
of.
champagne flutes.
I had the room service people bring them
So
out.
we just felt real fancy. So, but we did that Friday night because we knew the snowstorm was coming in. But yeah, so. And Haley went to her boyfriend's house Friday, and they did Valentine's Day because he still didn't have his driver's license. So he took her on a date. She just drove. Hey, I don't care. I trust her driving better than his, anyways. So.
He'll get it eventually.
Yeah. So, hey, babe, what do we have coming up on March 1st?
Your birthday month.
I don't do that. You know that. I don't celebrate the whole month. What does that say?
Treat yourself.
Treat yourself what?
Cal.
Yes. Treat yourself, Cal, starts March 1st. And what Cal is that? What do I have to do in order to participate?
Well, you don't get to participate because you're hosting it, so therefore you don't.
I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to the people that are watching us.
Oh.
You want to not be snark pants?
I don't know. It's usually fun.
Annoying for me, fun for him. So this is a cowl where you knit something for yourself. Not for charity, not for anybody else, for yourself. Cast it on March 1st. It's going to run through March 31st. What'd you make that face for?
I was just thinking, what if somebody's name is Charity and they want to knit something for themselves?
Do you see what I live with? Do you see what I live with, guys? Oh my goodness. Yeah, you like my lovely nose pad prints on the side of my nose? So I wear blue light blocking glasses. Helps with drying out of my eyes and everything. I wear contacts. But I wear the blue light blocking glasses when I'm, like when we're watching TV for long periods of time or when I'm on my laptop. Well, they left imprints and they're not going away right now because I just took them off like 30 minutes ago. So that's what that is. He didn't punch me in the nose or anything. It's
Not today.
Shut up! Don't even. He would never ever anybody. New person watching what?
Oh my gosh.
No, he would never ever ever do that. You're gonna get yourself in trouble, babe.
Nah.
Just. Anyways, so the Treat Yourself cowl starts March 1st, ends March 31st. Knit something for yourself. Don't care how small, how big, you just cannot cast it on until March 1st. So, whips are not allowed. It has to be something brand new. But yeah, that starts March 1st. Y'all be there.
Where do they enter their FOs?
I will open a thread on Ravelry, and we're going to have in our Facebook group. I will have one, and I'm gonna have it linked to the top. So in the comments, put your picture of your faux, and we will draw from both Facebook and Ravelry. So was almost thinking about adding an Instagram hashtag too, but that's a lot of work.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. There might be one. Probably not, but we'll see. Do you have anything else to add to what's been going on?
No.
Babe, what
Not really.
what woolies are you wearing?
Well, I got my Littlest Pine Tree hat on
Little Pine.
by the Cozy Up Girls.
Little Pine hat by the Cozy Up Knits. Not Littlest Pine Tree, because they look that up on Ravelry and they're not going to find that.
Well, still. I hijacked mine though. So
Just a little bit.
just a little bit. Colors are different. I went more Americana with my colors. But you can do whatever colors you want, really. I had started it in different colors, and then I was like, I don't like that.
Yeah.
So I had that, and then I have on a pair of are they maybe babies?
Yes.
Yeah, the first pair of maybe babies.
No. Those aren't maybe babies.
These aren't maybe
Those
babies.
are
These are
Joe's Perfect Slipper socks that you turn into socks.
Yeah, Joe's Perfect Slipper socks that are turned into real socks. So, that's what I'm wearing. What about you, babe? What knits are you wearing?
Well, I'm wearing my Weekender. It's my favorite sweater, guys. And I know what you're thinking, but you live in Texas. How is it possible that it's cold enough that you can wear that?
We went over that already.
Yeah.
Negative 14 degrees Celsius, people.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I don't always wear an undershirt underneath it. So when I don't wear the undershirt underneath it, when it's like 50 or 40, I can wear it. But I love it so much. So this is in my hibiscus colorway on my Aran tweed base, my newest base. I love it so much. It's my favorite sweater. It's like a big sweatshirt because we kind of live in sweatshirts here, so it's nice to have something that looks nicer than a sweatshirt to wear out and about. I don't get to wear it every single day in winter because obviously we do get days like last Sunday where it was 81. And then this Sunday it was 6. So yeah, don't ever tell Texas you can't have all 4 seasons in a week because they're gonna say, hold my beer, watch this.
Hold my boots.
Yeah. It's like winter leaves the room and then says, and another thing, and comes back in. So there's also this meme, and it's the guy from Game of Thrones, and he's like, winter is coming. All of it, all at once. Which is pretty much what happened this weekend, wouldn't you say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
It's been a pretty mild winter for us. I mean, we had snow earlier in the season, but
yeah, kind of want to tell our Canadian and Northern friends, hey, your weather's in our backyard, drunk, come get it. But I don't at the same time because I really actually like the cold. It beats the 100 degrees that we usually get. So,
I will take the cold over the heat.
Wonder how much of an actual spring we're going to get this year with the cold. Because usually what happens is when we get a very cold winter, we get 2 days of spring and then summer hits.
And then straight into the 100-degree.
Yeah, last time we got a ton of snow and a really cold winter. That summer, starting in May, the entire month of May was over 100 degrees every single day.
And what did we say that was? Like 30-something degrees Celsius?
I don't know. Jamie, you would die, basically, is what I should say.
Yeah, 37.78 degrees Celsius.
Yeah.
Okay. So.
I will say it is a dry heat, so that does make up for it because you're not trying to grow gills to breathe.
Our fireplace is a dry heat, too.
Yeah, well. It's better than being down in Houston when it's 100-something degrees because then you also have the humidity to compete with.
Yeah.
That's bad. At least we never got that hot in Okinawa either.
That's true.
I would rather have the high dry heat rather than the humidity. I do not do humidity very well. My hair is funny when it's the humidity's that high.
That's the word we're going to use.
Yeah. It's pretty tame right now. But anyway, so nothing else to add to what's been going on?
No.
No? Okay. Well then, let's move on to faux party. Hey babe.
Yeah, babe.
You got any faux?
Hey, babe, what photos do you have? You know better.
By the way, also I'm wearing socks, but I'm not going to lift my foot up to show you what socks do I have on. Oh, I have on my Advent socks from my Advent last year. So, I'm gonna start with this one first. So this is my pattern, and it's a cowl. There are 3 different stitch repeats. So you have the faux bobbles. It looks like bobbles, but it's not really. Here, maybe this one will be better. It looks like bobbles, but it's not really bobbles. Then you have a lace, and then you also have eyelets. Like, I don't even know if you'd call that eyelets. What would you call that? Mesh eyelets, maybe?
Fishnet?
But anyways, this is the Advent cowl that I've been working on forever. It's my pattern. It will be coming out. Hoping, I've got to get it written up, but I'm hoping to have it come out in July in time to send out with Lollipop Girls Christmas in July Advent calendar that she's putting out, which I think she still has a few in the shop if y'all want to grab them. But this is the 12-day one. And it's a cowl, and you can wear it long, or for those that are further up north, you can double wrap it too. So it'll be good for underneath those people that actually wear winter coats and don't just put on a sweater and be like, okay, it's good. I hate wearing a coat, y'all. I have one, but I don't wear it very often. I've had it for a few years and it still looks brand new because I wear it that often. But anyway, so there's this. This one was knit out of Lollipop Girl Yarns Advent from her Halloween Advent. So also the way this pattern is written is you can do whatever stitch pattern you want to do. Good grief. No, I don't want to mute that. Because they are all the same amount of stitches. And you can make this shorter, you can make this where it's not as wide, you can make it shorter, you can use less minis. But each stitch repeat is the same amount of rows and the same amount of stitches. So, and I will have all of that. I mean, it's very, very customizable. So, but I will also give you instructions on how to knit it the way that I knit it. Seriously, it's the same people. The ones I just hung up on. Hold on.
Hello? Hello?
They're not answering now, are they?
No.
Then hang up on them. I had one today from Amarillo. Called me, I hung up, immediately called me back. So I answered the second time. It was for somebody, it was a company looking to hire nurses because the person that had my phone number before me.
5 years ago?
Yes, was a nurse. And she has yet to go in and fix her number, and I'm tired of getting all of her stupid phone calls. Because when I first got the number, I got the phone and the new number, and like 5 seconds I get a brand new phone call looking for the person who had the phone number before me. And it was a bill collector. So either they're looking to hire me as a nurse or they're trying to collect a bill from her. There's also somebody looking for Elvira all the time on this number too. So, but I really need them to just stop it.
Well, maybe their heart's on fire.
So it's just annoying. But this pattern started with, I need your help with this one. I'm sorry. With
it's not my
this
fault.
one. So this is the 24-day one, and it is a wrap. And this...
Or, a blanket for those normal folks out there.
No, it's not.
Afghan, maybe.
It has the same,
I'm telling
this
you.
section right here looks like plaid.
I'm telling you, if you knit a second one, you could seam them together and make an Afghan.
I'm not going to do that. But anyways, so this one, your first color and your last color, you start off with a double seed stitch. And you have fringe. I think I want to add more fringe, but I don't know. I think I like just this little amount. You can add more fringe, you can not do fringe. I just liked it. So, and then here's the other side. So your second or your first and last color are not going to have as many rows as in between, but that's because you need that yardage for the fringe part. So you don't have to do fringe. You can do more seeds. You can do more double seed stitch. But this has the exact same stitch repeat and everything. It's a wrap and uses all 24. And I had enough yarn from this left over that I was able to make socks, like make your own striped socks. And I did 6 rows in each sock from each color. So I'm actually wearing them right now. I do kind of want to bring my foot up here, but I'm not going to.
Just take your sock off and show it.
I don't want to do that.
And put your sock back on.
Anyways, I think it was a faux last episode, or no. No, it was an episode before that. But anyways, I just have to type this up and get it out to testers. But I just wanted to show y'all what's coming up. And again, with this one, I will tell you what I did, but it's very, very customizable because it's all the same. And it's got an I-cord edge, which makes it very easy to weave in your ends. Like I-cord edge is the easiest thing to weave in your ends to. Super easy. Can I see your scissors real quick? Because apparently I didn't clip off every... Stop. You know what I meant. Don't be a butt. You know, I get in trouble all the time for being mean to you.
Oh.
I get comments. I get
whatever.
comments. No, I seriously do. I get comments. Geez, leave him alone. He quit. Leave him alone.
Because they know how awesome I am.
Then he picks on me. Does he get reprimanded for it? No. So I'm going to need you to just stop. Don't be a butt. That should be a public service announcement. Don't be a butt.
Don't be a butt.
So.
But then I can't be in the tail end. Because it's not about butts.
Shut up, please. Do y'all see what I live with? Serious? Okay, so this was my Advent from last year, the White Christmas. This is not in the order that they were opened. I faded the colors. So, and this is White Christmas right here. So you have the option to do 24 days or 12 days, and this will also work with 10 gram minis. So you just won't have leftovers for socks. I'm gonna get somebody to test that with 10 gram minis though, because I'm a loose knitter and I had a lot of yarn left over. These were with 20 gram minis, and I'm gonna chunk and chunk. So there's that. I just have to type it up and get it out to testers. Also, I need Jill's help with naming it because right now I've just been calling it my Advent design. I don't think that would work for a name. So if y'all have ideas for it, let me know down below and I'll get him to pick one because he's better at naming them than I am. Then I also have 2 pairs of socks. I'm gonna wait to show those. I finished, this yarn is the Cozy Knitter and it's on her Bliss base, which is an 80-20, 115 grams. And it is called In Bloom with a pink mini for contrast. So, and I do have both of them done. And I normally knit my socks on a size 1, but I've noticed with Canadian yarn that is fingering weight, it's thicker than ours, so I knit them on a size 1 instead of a size 0. So, and these are on my Texas sock blockers from Knitting Left. Then I finished my Rudolph socks. These are using my Rudolph Advent. That was a 12-day one. So there's that. And these are on my, oh my goodness, I totally forgot who these were from. Kim had them
Burning
made
Impressions?
Yes, Burning Impressions. She's from Canada. Or they. I don't know if it's a group or... Anyways, in Canada, Kim of Ginger Snap had these made for us because he has his Goblin King ones. Mm-hmm. But anyways, contrast color is just a Knit Picks gray. So, and I do have both of them done. So I have 2 new pairs of socks. Woohoo! And time for more snow tomorrow and Wednesday.
Hopefully.
Hopefully, yeah.
We like the snow.
Mm-hmm. He definitely didn't grow up with it. Mm-hmm. I did, but it was not very often. So, and you have no faux, so then it's time to move on to Whip It. Whip it good. Do you want to go ahead and talk about your whip since it kind of goes with mine?
You go ahead because I got to finish this row.
Okay. Well, I have started my next pair of make your own striping socks, and this is using my 24-day advent, which was a Christmas story. So I am up to Fragile. I'm doing a stripe a day, and I've got 6 rows for each color. And these are coming out super colorful, which I was worried about this advent not being that colorful because it had a lot of... It didn't have a lot of like bright colors. It was a lot of the same colors, but look at that. Super colorful. So, and then I had planned to have one of these on the needles, a make your own striping sock on the needles every month. But we were supposed to be knitting them together and he's kind of behind, so I'm not going to knit another pair next month. I have some other sock yarn I'm going to use to knit some socks. But same concept, I'll do 6 rows, or I'll do 6 rows a day. So, because he does not knit every single day like I do. No. He's trying, but some days he just comes home and he's just like...
This right here, just...
Yeah. And then the contrast color for mine, because I've got the heels in too, is another Christmas yarn, and it was leftovers, so I do not have the tag anymore. So I knit another pair of Christmas socks out of it. Okay, once you've used the majority of the ball of yarn and you don't have the tag, it's acceptable. You lose it before you even, finish the project, or you lose it before you even start the project, which you've been known to do that, which, by the way, Laura told me what that yarn was.
Which yarn?
The blue in your hat, because we couldn't remember last week.
Okay.
It is...
Bear with.
Homespun House. Colorway was Water Reservoir.
Yes.
So. But do you want to talk about yours now?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, so I am currently knitting the world's longest pair of socks.
Oh, what? Hush. It's because you didn't do 12 colors and then do your heel.
They would still be the same length.
No, the foot would be longer and it would even up with the top.
I didn't say the top was the longest ever. I said the pair of socks in general.
Oh.
Look at this.
You were complaining.
Look. Still going. Still going. And there's the end.
Okay, if I did that with mine, it would be the same way.
I've never knit a pair of socks this long. Usually, by about here, I'm like, I can go ahead and put the cuff in now.
See, mine are long too. Your row gauge is different than mine.
See, that is your entire sock with the cuff, and you're kind of pulling it.
No, I'm not.
Okay. I have, 2.5 more colors and the cuff to
Your
get there?
row gauge is bigger than mine. I'm knitting on 2 sizes smaller of a needle than you did.
World's longest pair of socks.
Oh, shut up.
These things are going to go halfway up my thigh.
They are not. You're going to put them on and regret that you complained because they come up so high and you're going to like them.
But this is her Rudolph Advent colorway or color set that I'm doing.
It's
so
my 12-day Advent.
12-day Advent. You know what they know what I mean. Okay.
Are we sure they know what you mean?
So all of this are the colors, and then it starts over there. So I'm to this point, and I've still got that one, and then one more, and then one more.
But
so 2.5 more colors.
You also put your heel in sooner than I did, which is why your cuff is going to be longer than mine.
But yeah, my heel is actually below the last color. So
yeah, and I did 12, and then put the heel in.
Yeah, but it was to the point where if I put another color in, and then put my heel in, it would be way too big. It'd be too baggy on my foot. And I don't like baggy socks. So that's almost as bad as when your sock gets turned around upside down and the heel is on the top of your foot. That's what baggy socks are for me.
No, thank you.
So
well, I'll just go ahead and talk about this. So I just cast on something new while we were talking. So if y'all remember a while back, I was working on a pair of knits, like towards the beginning of our
podcast journey.
Yes. Don't call it a journey. It's not a journey.
It is a journey.
No, it's not a journey.
It could be a journey.
I hate that phrase because you are not getting in a car and moving somewhere else. You're not going somewhere else. It just, that phrase does not work for me and gets overused. But
sorry, I'm unwinding my yarn here.
Okay, anyways, I had knit these mitts, and they're convertible mitts, and they have cables all over them. And I had knit them. It scared me. It's my timer to put in the update, but I don't have an update today. It'll be in there tomorrow. We'll talk about in the shop news.
Shop news.
That was my alarm. But I had knit all the way up to the point where you split, and I'd knit the mitt part that flips over. I had knit the thumbs, but then the thumbs were too tight, so I like snipped the top where I thought that I had bound it off, and went to pull it out, and it just kept going and kept going and kept going. I ended up having to rip out the whole thing, and it was in No Maker's yarn, and it was cabled, and I was having to unwind it the wrong way, so it was not unwind, and he was making fun of me like, just throw it away and buy another skein. And I was sitting there like unknotting it and everything all the way through. I have several little balls.
In tears, almost.
Yes.
Because it was No Makers.
Yes. This was before she quit dying. So these are, and then I just put it all away, and I said, I can't. Well, I have decided to finally reknit these. That's what they look like. Well, I'm going to attempt to. This pattern is Gabriella by Dana Berry. So I don't know, I can't remember or Doodlebug Knits. I don't know if this is a paid for pattern or if it's free. I don't even know if it's still available on Ravelry. But there you go. I am using my DK Tweed on Burble. You see how far I got? Ba-bam, I have them cast on. And these are supposed to be knit on double point needles. I don't do that. I do not use double point needles. No thank you. So I have done a magic loop, and you're supposed to knit them one at a time. I don't do that. They would never get finished if I did. So 2 at a time it is. And but yeah, so I have, and they're cuff up, so with a lot of cable on them, as you can see. And y'all know how I feel about cables. They just slow me down. But I know I will use these. I know I will wear them because it'll just be nice to have them when I'm just, getting in the car because our steering wheels do get cold for here.
Ooh, this morning.
Well, yeah.
I had to put my gloves on.
It's -2. What do you expect?
I had to put my gloves on to drive to work this morning. Just to find out I didn't have to be there that early.
Or be there at all, really.
No, I didn't need to be there at all, but just not that early.
Yeah. He came home and he shoveled our driveway or just our...
Just the sidewalk there to clear that.
And then shoveled the neighbors across the street.
Yeah.
So, and this is all going in my Canadian bag by Prairie Dye Studios that the lovely Jamie from Cozy Up Knits sent me in a package a few years ago. Well, she sent it to both of us, and I claimed it, so it's mine.
Oh.
Yeah.
This is our land.
Yeah, this land is our land. See? But yeah.
Nothing more British than that.
British?
Yeah. Canada was founded by the British.
Yeah, but they're not British anymore. They're Canadian.
No, but...
So there's that. Wish me luck. I'm going to take my time and just knit on these when I feel like it.
You're feeling masochistic?
It was just the thumb got me. So, and since then, I rarely ever knit mitts. But I also, in my Wizard of Oz bag from Knit for Brains.
I thought you were about done.
I have this one and one more. Only have 4 this time. Is my new sweater cast on. Because I finished that design, I let myself cast on this sweater. So, and our printer, I don't know why it does this, but when it has a full page picture, it does this. So, it's pink velvet.
It's because the paper's textured.
Yeah, that's what our daughter said. Our paper's not textured. Pink velvet by Drea Renee Knits. She's like, did you know the paper's textured? You can feel it. It feels different from the last time. I'm like, Haley, it's the exact same kind I bought last time. So, and it might be because this paper is thinner than what I normally buy. I don't know. But anyways, I am using, this is the contrast color. And it is eye searing pink. And yes, it is that bright. And it's by Twisted Owl. They do not dye anymore. And then I am also using a unicorn from my shop on my fingering sock. So this had been dyed to be Lollipop Guild, and then I over dyed it with blue. So, but Laura, we are podcasting. Woo! They're supposed to get 17 inches of snow up there. And they already had a bunch of snow on the ground. So I am on the yoke. Just started the color work. So there you go. I am really pleased with my color choices. I love it. And this is fingering weight yarn. So, which means by the time I get done with the color work, it's going to take me forever to finish the body part. But that's okay. It will get done eventually. I'm in no hurry. So it's something that I will wear for a long time. And no, I did not swatch.
Nobody actually swatches.
No. Well, I've already knit 2 of her patterns, her sweater patterns, which is this one. And then I also knit her throwback cardigan. So I like my sweaters to be a little big, and this only called for like 2 inches of positive ease. So I just went up a size and kept the same needle size that she called for. I like my sweaters a little baggy. I don't like them form-fitting. So there's that. And then I showed you last week, that did not even make it to the couch. So that was a bad throw. And then I have another sweater that I'm planning to cast on before we record again. It's a Christmas sweater. So, in my Ginger Snap Wizard of Oz bag, do you think I like Wizard of Oz? Is my Sturgill sweater by Caitlin Hunter, or Boylan Knitworks. And if I wanted a crop top, I could just go ahead and do the... It's on little cables because I don't like them on big cables. But anyways, I have finished... I just put on like maybe an inch or two on the body. But yeah, like I said, if I wanted it cropped, I could go ahead and just put in my ribbing and be done. But I don't, I want it long. And this is DK. This is all my yarn. And when we do color work, it usually comes out bunched till we block it, and then it comes out the way it's supposed to. So it always looks bunched up. But anyways, the main color is Hoovian. Yes, it's Hoovian. Sorry, Hoovian on my DK100. The pink is just a unicorn on DK100. The brown is my Chromo Romance on DK100, and then the white speckle, which I don't know if y'all can see the speckle in there or not. It's really light. Is Gee, I Wish I Was Back in the Army, which was from my Advent last year, from White Christmas. And I am doing helical knitting. So, there's that. But that's all I have. We didn't even say whips. We didn't even say whip it good. We just went straight from faux party.
No, we
whips.
did.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Pretty sure we did.
I don't think we did. But anyways, that was
Whip it
good.
I think we did. I'm pretty sure we did.
But now, because you don't have any more, do you? You only ever have one at a time.
Yes, because I'm a sane person.
Oh, whatever. My box of shame is way lower. I have cast off more things than I have cast on. Mm-hmm. Thank you very much. Mm-hmm. I have cast off like 5 things in the last month and only cast on 2, and one of them was for our daughter. Bam. Not counting socks. But I have.
Of course not.
I only have 1 pair of socks on the battery died.
I can see that.
As I was saying, I only have 1 pair of socks on the needles right now. Mm-hmm. However, I do have 3 or 4 skeins, like in bags with needles ready. I just have to wind them up, ready to cast on for more socks. But one of them is for our children. One of the skeins is for the children, not me.
I'm still a sane person that only does one at a time.
Oh, whatever. I can't work on just one project at a time. I can't. Mm-hmm. It's so boring. My projects would never get done if I only had one.
Why? That doesn't make any sense.
Because I get bored with one and then I lose my knitting mojo if I only have one project. Mm-hmm. But if I get bored with one, I can pick up something else that's got a different technique on it, or because sometimes I just want to go round and round and round and round and round. Other times I want to have that pattern to work on, or mm-hmm. something different. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. Like this sweater would be great for knitting while we watch the rest of Vikings, which we only have 3 more episodes left.
We might as well just binge them. Yeah. Just get it over with.
I don't want to though, because that's it. He is making a new series called Vikings Valhalla, which will be on Netflix, which makes us a little concerned that it's going to be full of the F word, which means we wouldn't be able to watch it, because I can't stand that. That just, it burns my ears, and then the word just runs through my head all day, whether I try for it not. Mm-hmm. I cannot stand that word. It's so ugly to me. So.
Oh, excuse me.
And a lot of times when they have that word in there, they use it like unnecessarily.
Oh, yeah.
So, we'll have to wait and see. I am really hoping that it's going to be like Umbrella Academy, where they don't have that word. So, but we will see.
Yep.
But now it's time for all of y'all's favorite section that has nothing to do with knitting, but is still fun and interesting, called
See What Had Happened Was.
See What Had Happened Was.
And I think you're being a little cavalier with fun and interesting. And favorite.
But it's the only one that has its own theme song. That I totally made up last week. But still, it's the only section that has its own theme song.
So last episode I got a little long-winded
because you were super excited to get to this part.
Yeah. So if all of y'all are tired of hearing my voice, then go ahead and just fast forward to when we get back to knitting. So today we're talking about a time in Texas history called the Comancheria. Now, can you guess what it's about? With the title, Comancheria.
About the Comanches?
It's about the Comanches. Very good. Very good.
We're going to be talking about the Alamo, though.
No, I told you. We have a little side hustle to get to.
The Alamo, it's
it's coming.
It's the part of our history.
It's coming. Okay. All right, so for about 100 years, from the 1750s all the way to the 1850s, the Comanche Indians were the dominant group in the Southwest. And by Southwest, I mean New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas Territory, Nebraska Territory, pretty much this side of the Rockies, but Texas. So, in fact, here, let me just kind of show you all this.
They had a lot of territory.
That map there. Okay. So, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma, Kansas.
Quanah Parker was a Comanche, right?
Yes, Quanah Parker was Comanche. That's why in this part of Texas we have Quanah, Texas, Quanah, Texas, Parker County. I think there's a Parker, Texas.
I don't know if there's a Parker, Texas.
I'm not sure.
But
anyway, and the area that they controlled, their domain was called the Comancheria. So during that 100 years, they had to deal with Mexican, Spanish, American, French. Well, not so much French. The French had been kicked out of Texas. Remember, they lost the river and
the island.
They lost the river, settled on the island, got destroyed by the Indians, and then the Spanish couldn't find the island. Okay. So Spanish, Mexican, and American outposts were kind of surrounding the Comancheria. And in New Mexico, Texas, and I can never say this word. Coahuila and Nueva Vizcaya in northern Mexico.
What?
That word. Coahuila. Something. Coahuila.
Yeah.
Okay. And Nueva Vizcaya in northern Mexico. The Comanche worked to increase their own safety and prosperity and power. So despite all these foreign nations coming together and kind of setting up all around them, they were really holding their own. So between 1810 and 1830, the population of Comanche in this area was between 7,000 and 8,000. And they used the one thing that I think everybody can say about the Comanche and know about the Comanche is that they were fighters. Next to the Apaches, they were the Indians that you did not want to run into in the wilderness. So they used that power to obtain supplies and labor from the Americans and the Mexicans and other Indians.
They were
keep
fierce.
in mind, and other Indians through thievery, looting and killing, tribute and kidnappings.
Which is how Quanah Parker came about.
Yes.
Because his mama was kidnapped.
Yes. His mama was a Dutch settler that was kidnapped when she was very young. and she was raised in the tribe, and the chief actually took her as a bride and ended up having Quanah. So anyway, there was a lot of violence committed by and against the Comanche, because you got to remember, you got to figure they're doing a lot of violence. A lot of violence is going to come back on them, not just from other Indians, but from Americans, from Mexicans, from Spanish, whatever. And that was before and after the European settlement of Texas. So they've been having problems long before the Europeans showed up. And they did make their living partially through raiding and violence, but they were also hunters and gatherers. So they were jacks of all trades. Is that the plural?
Hunted buffalo, didn't they?
Yes, they did hunt buffalo. Especially buffalo.
Yeah, I think they were the ones that were running water draw, hunting them, using the draw.
Most likely. And running water draw is one of those areas where they would drive the herd over the cliff. And so they would just drive the herd out towards this cliff, and they would end up falling off and dying.
And that's in my hometown. But when you see the cliff, you're like, how? It's not that big.
I would imagine it's been worn down.
Possibly.
Over the years.
But
I would hope so, because there's nothing there.
Yeah, well, running water draw is like out towards Kidsville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah. Well,
it's flat.
The museum in Plainview, like the depiction, the diorama they have of that, it looks like they're driving it off of a mountain, like off of a cliff face. It's not that tall.
No.
But it was enough that broke their legs and stuff, enough to where they could just stand on top and hunt them.
I'm guessing, but I mean, the curb at our mailbox is taller than what it is out there.
They're tall. They're tall enough you could drive them off, but they're not like a sheer face. They're a hill.
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
The landscape had to be different.
It had to have changed over the years.
Yeah.
Okay. The Comanche also supported a commercial network with long distance trade. So they raided, they looted, they pillaged. They were like the Vikings of North America, basically. So they hunted, they gathered, they farmed, but they also would raid and attack other settlements, other tribes. But then they would also trade with other settlements and tribes. Mm-hmm. So dealing with subordinate Indians, the Comanche spread their language and culture across the region. So that's how the Comanche became so predominant in the Southwest, is because they would just take over, basically, and say, you're going to do it our way.
Original colonialism.
Yeah, original colonialism. Okay. In terms of governance, the Comanche were nearly independent, but allied bands with a loosely hierarchical social organization within bands. Okay, so they had... I'm guessing every group of Comanche were separate from every other group.
So it's like counties of Texas.
Kind of. Or it's kind of like churches, you know?
Yeah.
We're all the same church, but
we're all
governed
family.
separately.
Yeah.
You know? So their empire, like I said, from the 1750s to the 1850s, Comanches basically ran this part of the country. They were the empire. Here.
Our area was right smack dab in the middle of their area.
Right. So where we live, let me go back to the map real quick. I'm going to show y'all if I can point here. Okay. So, map of Texas. We are right about here. That's where we live. Right about in that area. Okay. So, like she said, right smack dab in the middle. But their empire came to an end when their camps were, their villages, their tribes would constantly be destroyed because of smallpox, cholera, war parties.
Diseases at the
right.
That the way.
Diseases that the Europeans inadvertently
Right.
Transmitted. And I say inadvertently. I know that a lot of people believe that they did it on purpose. Like Christopher Columbus coughed on a blanket and purposely handed that cough over to the natives, knowing that it would kill them.
You got to remember when the scarlet fever broke out, they would wrap in the blankets, and then they thought that the best way to prevent somebody else from getting it is to give them the exact blanket that they wrapped up in.
Well, it wasn't even that. It wasn't even that. It was
they didn't understand
the
germs.
Europeans had become immune to these diseases, or maybe not immune, but their bodies could fight them off. Okay,
and they didn't think anything
They didn't
of it.
know. They didn't know that that's how it worked. That's why I say inadvertently. I'm not saying that they didn't kill off millions of natives because of these diseases. I'm saying it was inadvertent.
They didn't mean to.
That was it.
They didn't understand germs or anything like that
Right.
then.
So their tribes were routinely decimated because of smallpox, cholera, and also conflict between settlers and other tribes. Not to mention the Texas Rangers and the U.S. Army. So you've got all these things that are just bombarding the Comanche over 100 years. And it took 100 years for them to fall.
Yeah.
So the population plunged from 20,000 to just a few thousand in the 1870s. So remember I said between 1810 and 1830 they had between 7 and 8,000. Mm-hmm. Well, in the 1870s they had 20,000. So I mean a huge population spike, despite being constantly attacked and constantly, bombarded by European settlers, by other tribes, by diseases. They went from 8,000 up to 20,000 in a span of 40 years. And then down to just a few thousand by the end of the 1870s. So they were no longer able, because of their low numbers, they were no longer able to hold off the U.S. Army, the Texas Rangers, which came in and took over the region after the Mexican-American War in 1848. The Mexican-American War was in 1848, or it ended in 1848. After that is when the U.S. Army came in. But the long-term imprint, the effects of the Comanche are still very visible throughout this whole region.
We're going to have to delete some. We've only got a minute of recording time left. See at the top.
Oh, okay.
Delete the videos.
But yes, the effect of the Comanche is still here. It's still felt.
Yeah.
So
Quanah Parker, especially in this area.
Yeah, Quanah Parker was the last Comanche chief to move his tribe onto the reservation.
To surrender, basically.
Yeah. So, but that was in Oklahoma.
But we have the arrow here.
Yeah, he's buried. I want to say he's buried here. But anyway, that was, see what happened was.
It's nearby enough when we actually get to Quanah Parker's time period. We should go out to the arrow.
This is Quanah Parker's time period.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Anyway.
So, is that all you have for See What Happened Was?
Yes.
See what happened was.
You're such a dork.
See what he lives with?
Yep.
Random songs. Okay, so then let's move on to our next section, which is called
My Precious!
And you have some My Precious.
I do.
You do!
What?
Okay, so these are from Knit for Brains.
Laura.
Laura, not Lara. Lara is Lollipop Girl. Knit for
Yes.
Brains is Laura.
That's why I said Laura.
I know. Why? He just stuck his finger in my armpit. That's so weird. Don't do that. She has an Etsy shop. It's Knit for Brains Designs. So, as you both know, we are slightly obsessed with a certain Texan Coke.
Yes. Because it is Coke.
It is. The flavor, however, is Dr. Pepper. So.
Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Laura texted me the picture of this fabric and I was like, yeah, let me know when you get those in the shop. She's like, well, the update's going to be late this week. It's like, okay, well, just let me know. She goes, or I could I could do a custom order for you and you can get them now. And I was like, friends, I love my knitty friends. So I got the medium. Maybe it's the small. Anyways, but I got the zippered one and he got the sock one because that's what he uses the most.
Yes.
And that's the inside fabric.
Yeah, it's kind of a marbly looking fabric.
So, and then my size came with the needle protectors. Is that what it's called? I don't know. I don't use them very often. Needle minders, yeah. I don't use them very often, but sometimes I need them, like on sweaters. Especially when it's a really loose gauge, like Haley's Simple Hug that fell off the needles. But that's what we have for my precious. I love this so much, and now I can use it. It's been sitting in my office for like 2 weeks. Finally get to use it. He didn't even know that it'd come in the mail because I unwrapped it. I opened it and I stuck it in my office because I knew if I showed it to him, he would either A, use it, or B, forget it and not bring it to the table to show off. So I just kept it all together. And that face he just made tells me I'm right. But that's all I have for my precious. Unless you got something to add, dear.
I don't.
You didn't?
Don't.
You want this stitch marker that came with her card?
Is it a Dr. Pepper stitch marker?
No.
Oh.
You got a Dr. Pepper stitch marker for your birthday, didn't you?
No. I don't think I did. In fact,
Yes.
I know I didn't. You got one.
I got one, but I could have sworn she sent you one with your package.
I don't think I did.
But it's my...
Oh, it's the little bird scissors.
Yeah. See? Looks like my, you know, the little crane scissors that just about every knitter has. So, do you want it or no?
No.
Okay. Then I will use it.
Because I don't have those scissors.
Well, you could.
I don't want.
Okay, then.
I'm happy with mine.
With his giant scissors. I like my little scissors. But then let's move on to shop news. And then for some reason these are the extra small buffalo plaid. I had these marked for 23. I don't know why. I fixed that. They are now 20 in the shop. But there are still 2 of those left. And then once these are gone, that is it for this fabric. I cannot get any more. Sorry. At least not the kind with the cabled. So, but anyways, they're the ones that have the cabled fabric on the inside. Well, looks like cabled. Knitted cables, but it's just, it's not knitted. But that's all I have for the update, which will be in the shop tomorrow because we are a day behind because yesterday it was cold and neither one of us really wanted to record. So we are recording February 15th at almost 5 o'clock. It's almost 5 o'clock. And what?
That means it's almost supper time.
We better decide what we want.
Chickeny.
Okay. So yeah, we were gonna just order pizza because the electrical company has asked us to conserve energy and I thought, well, that means cooking. So we need to go and pick something up. But when I went to go set it up, they're not delivering today because of the roads. So they're still open. They're just don't have their delivery drivers. But anyways, back to shop news. So my DK sock base, I am probably going to discontinue that base. It does not sell very much when I actually dye it up and put it in the shop ready to ship. People aren't really buying it. So I am not going to keep that one in stock anymore. However, if you would like a custom order with that base, you can message me, because I am only going to have that base for special request only. And then my other popular base, DK100, I'm trying to get a hold of it, but right now it is sold out. I cannot get a hold of it. So it might be a while before I'm able to restock that. However, the next update in 2 weeks will be a yarn update. And that one will be fingering sock and fingering 100. And fingering 100 is my 100% superwash merino. So, and then I have some plans for in April to have a really fun mini set coming out. So, really excited, because that's about the time that we really get like our 2 weeks of spring. Is in April, when all the wildflowers are in bloom and everything. If y'all remember, about a year or so ago, I did the Texas wildflowers mystery skein each month, where it was there was a different flower, Texas wildflower inspiration for each month. Well, I'm going to take most of those and dye them up into mini skeins. So more information to come on that. That will be in April, though. Do you have anything to add? Okay, well then it's time for the tail end.
Wah, wah.
Still not about anybody's butts.
I'll leave.
I didn't call you a butt. I said don't act like a butt. Don't be a butt.
You were saying I was being a butt.
You were acting like a butt.
So.
Anyways. That's the biggest insult we have for each other, by the way. And it's always in jest. I don't have anything to add to the tail end. Do you?
I really don't either.
Okay. So. Most of the state has been having rolling blackouts because the energy grid is not doing well with everybody running their heaters and stuff because it's super cold. We have been lucky so far that we haven't had to do that, which is why the electrical company asked us to conserve energy, because right now we're not doing that. They are pushing it. We haven't hit the limit yet. So hopefully as it starts to get a little bit warmer and not so cold, it'll get better. And I don't know what else. I mean, there's lots of other stuff I want to say, but we don't talk about that kind of stuff on here. Just pray for our country. That's what I'm going to say.
I'm going to say this. And if you want to delete this out of there, it's fine.
Okay.
Hopefully, now our government can get down to brass tacks and actually get some work done.
Yeah, that the entire country wants and not just a small few.
Yeah. So, that's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. Because of the ridiculousness that's been going on lately. But I doubt it. It will get...
Anyway, that's all we're going to say.
Here on... Go to Facebook and Ravelry and join our groups. We tend to do more on Facebook than we do on Ravelry, just because we're not on Ravelry that often. Matter of fact, when it comes to Facebook, he will approve you before I'll even see it. I'm not really on social media a lot. Like, I get on and check maybe once or twice a day, but I try not to spend a lot of time on it because it usually just makes me angry and frustrated and just sad. So I just don't get on there often. However, if you do send me a message through Etsy, I get an email and I get a notification on my phone. Also, if you send me a message on Instagram, I will see it because I get a ding on my phone. Ravelry, not so much. Facebook, it's when I check it. So he will probably respond if I don't. Mm-hmm. If he can. If not, then he'll let me know.
So if you've put in a request to join the Facebook group and you got declined, it was because of me. And it's because you didn't answer the two
very easy questions.
2 questions.
Yes.
Okay. Well,
correctly at
most
that.
everybody. Well, okay. I have yet to see the wrong answer.
They just don't answer.
They just don't answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you got declined, it's because you did not answer both questions. So nobody has answered the one. No, I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
So,
or no, I don't like this.
Yeah. I don't think we have anybody asking to join our knitting group that doesn't like knitting.
Yeah.
So.
Those are Cherry Pie Cottage on both, too, FYI. And then here on YouTube.
Here on YouTube, do the YouTube stuff. You know what to do.
Yep. Help us get to 1,000.
Yes.
So we can do lives on our phone away from the house.
Yes.
So, which would be lots of fun. We could do lots of fun things.
Yes.
But we don't have enough followers yet.
We can do the running of the cherries. And just go places. Mm-hmm. I don't know why I said the running of the cherries.
Because we're Cherry Pie Cottage.
Yeah,
Are we the cherries?
I guess so. I don't know why.
Instead of, the Wises, we're the cherries.
The
okay.
Cherries.
I like it.
I guess.
That's a weird thing to say, but okay. God is good.
Read your Bible.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.